Alrighty. I have a topic for today, but I feel like we're gonna have to discuss it much later when like the gym starts clearing out. So for now, just enjoy me trying to push myself after an 8-hour shift, bro. Or nine, sorry. Alrighty. Let's go do some flies. One more off camera. Alrighty. We got 2 sets here, and then we'll go do some rows. We'll see how those go, because honestly, my legs are kind of torn apart after last leg day. Ow. I'm gonna do this. She says I don't want to fall. There we go. That'll be better. Ow. Like a pinch in the shoulder. I don't know why. It's weird. Ready. One more off camera. Alrighty. Today's topic is going to be letting go of your ego. And it'll be more in the sense, we can talk about ego lifting, but it's going to be more in the sense of training for your sake and learning to find, like, not your own reason, but learning to be content with you being the only person that knows about your progress. So, should be pretty good. We're going to do the set first. Actually, no, I want to start talking about this first. So I think where I want to start is like more often than not, I think people come to the gym and they lift and they lift because they want others to see them and see them as a certain way or see them a certain way. And I guess like they lift to appease their ego or to boost their ego in a sense where they come here and they may lift heavy or whatever weight they lift, and they finish their set and they look around and they're like, oh, like did anyone see what I was doing? Or maybe they're the person that wears like really extremely like, it's like, I guess like the best example would be like the guy that's like trying to look bigger than he is after a lift, or the guy that tries to ego check you when you're like you know when you're lifting with him. And I think there's something to be said about being able to kind of acknowledge your own progress and be content with you being the only person that knows where you're at in your journey. I think we get kind of wrapped up in this idea that, especially with social media, we get wrapped up in this idea that like everyone should know our wins. That not only that like I think it's one thing to say, oh, your wins should be celebrated, and then another thing to say your wins should be something that you highlight on a daily basis and that you try and shove in people's faces. Or I guess like your wins should be something that you are striving for because you want to do them for your sake. because you feel the need to progress, not because you want someone else to see those wins and acknowledge them or maybe like validate the way you're feeling, you know? So we'll go more in depth later. I just want like I already know I'm gonna start getting like passionate about this, so I don't want to be yelling while everyone's here. So we're gonna try our normal weight. I don't know if we're gonna get very much, but we're gonna try. Nah. Those reps are already really ugly as it is. I think as I get better at deadlifts, this will also get easier. But it probably doesn't help that like my ass is sore from the squats yesterday. Alrighty. We'll do one more off camera and then we'll do some lat pull downs. All right. Nah, that ain't happening.
Attention members, the pub will be closing in 10 minutes.
Home off camera. Alrighty. So I think what I more wanted to get into was being performative in the gym. And I know, um, sorry, I think I'm gonna start off with this. I I know it's gonna come off as judgmental. Um, I absolutely despise the people that come to the gym solely to try and make an impression on others in a way that in the sense that like they're lifting for the people, like the gaze of other people. I think if you require someone to validate what you're trying to do, especially if you're coming to the gym, you don't want it enough. It should not take the validation of someone else for you to come into the gym every day and improve yourself. This journey that you're going to be on in the gym is something that is solely your experience. No one else can, like, in the same way that no one can take away from the work that you've put in and the things you've had to do, the things you've had to sacrifice to get to the point that you're at. No one can add on to the value of your experience in the gym. Because people are seeing you and saying, wow, look at that person, that doesn't add on to your achievement in any way. Why? Because at the end of the day, those people really don't matter. Like most of the people you see in this general space are not people that have an effect on your daily life. And I want you guys to understand, you will feel so much more at peace coming into the gym when you come to the gym solely because you have an innate drive to want to improve. It has to come from you. It has to be your initiative only. There can't be a single shred of validation that comes from someone else. Maybe it'll start off that way, when you're a beginner, but it has to progress into something that you want to do. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing something for someone else and you're not getting that validation, what's going to happen? You're going to quit. Because you're not getting that dopamine hit of, oh my gosh, look, that person's lifting heavy, or well, like whatever kind of validation you're seeking. As if you're not getting that, once you stop receiving that validation on a consistent basis, you're gonna quit because you don't get the thing that you're looking for in the gym anymore. You're not looking to improve. You're looking for validation. And it's going to sound corny, but like it frustrates me when I see people that I know they're trying to seem like, "Oh my gosh, I trained so hard." And it'll be the people that are slamming the weights, you know, not like slamming the weights like, "Oh, you failed the rep," but slamming the weights on purpose to make other people's look at them, to make other people look at them. Or the people that try, and like puff themselves up after a lift. Like I know for a fact that they don't understand what it means to want it enough. I promise you, you do not like. There's a shirt that I see all the time where it's like, and this isn't to exclude people from coming to the gym. I don't want people to think that. Everyone's gonna have their own reason, but I always see this shirt, and it'll be this. I'm sorry, it'll be the skinniest dudes, and it'll be like, pain is weakness leaving the body. What the hell do you know about pain? Genuinely, what do you know about pain? Like you're coming to the gym in a commercial setting, you're lifting, you're barely trying. I see you barely trying. You're not lifting heavy. You're not, or at least you're not lifting heavy enough because you can see it on their faces. They're not really pushing themselves. You're coming in here and you're doing what? And then you have a shirt that says, "Oh, pain is weakness leaving the body." What on earth do you know about pain? I know pain. Trust me, I do. I'm someone that used to come into the gym and hate myself. I know that pain. Sorry. I know pain. Trust me. That is something I wish no one experiences. But to come into the gym and to try and puff yourself up and to make yourself look a certain way and to try and act like you're this big tough guy and like you don't know what you're talking about. And it it perpetuates this thing where it's like, oh, you can come into the gym and make it this space of like almost like a space of egos, where it's, oh, whose ego is bigger or who wants to look the best to others. No, come to the gym because you want to get better. And if you don't have if you don't have a valid reason other than maybe your health, um you want to improve, or you're trying to do a goal, you're striving for something great, then like I don't want to say don't come to the gym, but like at least don't make it our problem. This space is supposed to be a space that we encourage people to be better, not for the sake of validation from others, not for the sake of glorification of yourself, but because you want to improve, because you want to be better, because coming to the gym teaches you character, teaches you discipline, teaches you drive. Those things. Not because it's a space where you can come and show off and, stroke your ego because you want to seem bigger. And what that does when that happens is it intimidates people that are new. People that are coming in, they're new, they don't know what the heck they're doing, and they see some random ass dude, throwing the weights around, making them the space feel unwelcome because they might be like puffing themselves up around them, maybe ego checking them. Why? Why? What benefit do you get out of that? There is no benefit in doing that. None. And all you're doing is making the space, which is supposed to be a space for everyone to, share and have this improvement space, you're making it about yourself. How arrogant do you have to be to do that? I want you guys to understand that like I'm not trying to be harsh, but like the community that we used to have in the gym, like the gym community or the fitness space, used to be such an encouraging thing. It used to be a place you could go and have unshakable support from people that you didn't even know, people that were completely random. You would see people posting 5 pound PRs, 10 pound PRs, whatever. And people were they were encouraging them. They were saying, wow, good job. Like you're really doing great. And now it's become this space where it's like, it's just egos. People trying to prove, that you have the whole fitness like the whole science based and other side. I don't know what to call them. Like they call them meatheads, but like I don't know, where it's like it's just people that want to be right. That's not welcoming. Like it, all it's doing is confusing the people that are beginners, and then you have people in here that are doing whatever they can to get themselves noticed. Why? What benefit? Like you're making the space, you're taking the space from others that like is supposed to be a space that can come and feel welcome and feel like they're pushed to improve, feel like they have a community behind them to push them to be better. And you're taking it and you're making it something that's essentially like a stage for a one person act. Why? Why? Like I tomorrow I'm gonna talk about this because this is a really good topic or this is something I want to address as well. But like I want to tell like this is gonna be a hot take, but like making progress, like large leaps in progress in the gym, is not for everyone. I have this like theory that the people that go through that emotional pain, and it's you see the story consistently. The people that go through the real emotional pain, not those people that post those cringe ass stories on Instagram where they're like, "Oh, she broke my heart," and then like you see them training and they don't care. The people that go through genuine pain, like they lost a loved one or they, you know, um, they lost a friend. Maybe they're in depression. Maybe they're struggling with thoughts of uh, self harm. Those people, they come to the gym and they push themselves beyond what any of you can comprehend. Because in their mind, this place is not a space that is just, to improve. It's a space to get away from life, essentially. And is that healthy? Probably not. But does it does it more often than not result uh in some good good gains in the gym? Hell yeah. You can use me for an example if you want. I guarantee you that I would not be deadlifting 500 pounds if, you know, I didn't go through what I did. I guarantee you I would not be doing that. I, and do I wish I didn't? You, you like you guys already know. I don't, I don't wish that pain on anyone else. But I have a feeling that going through those things means that you are one of the selective few that is actually going to make large changes in your life. It shifts the way you think, not in a voluntary way. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But that is my rant for today. So we're gonna do 2 sets of this. We got our check-in, and we shall yeah, that'll be it. I'm gonna put this right here, okay? I don't want it to hit. Okay. Alrighty. This is how we're looking today. If you did enjoy the content, please drop a like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.